Hello, this is Frank Favaro, president and founder of Serve-Centric Coaching, and I'm super excited to be sponsoring the Undeniable podcast. When we talk about business today, everyone's looking to create an advantage. But how do you find it? Everything is copied with technology. Innovation is hard to come by. We can find it with customer experience. The experience that you provide to your customers and to your employees determines the value you bring to the marketplace. We will create a plan for you that will get your business to the next level. You can find us at www.serve-centric.com. That's serve-centric. Serve, S-E-R-V-E -centric, C-E-N-T-R-I-C.com. And you can reach me personally at 330-715-5361. Thank you.
Hey, this is Coach Cimarroni for Blood Time. I got Scott MacMeans here. How you doing, babe?
I'm great, baby. How are you?
I'm fabulous. I love having a former old-time Redskin back.
That's right, baby. Old school wrestling.
I love it. What are they today now?
What's that?
What's their names today?
They're the Red Wolves now from Cuyahoga Heights.
Yeah. So
I will go out on record right now and say, I was a good wrestler, was not a great wrestler.
That's okay.
I'm just letting everybody know, because I guarantee people are going to look me up and look at my record and figure out, hey, he wasn't that great.
Hey, I never made the district tournament.
I wasn't great.
I hear you, brother. Don't worry about it,
But I could scrap.
Absolutely.
I could wrestle.
Absolutely. I was a tough loss for these guys, because
Dan Hansen had the worst 47 seconds of his life before he pinned me in the district title.
My boy. I love it.
I love that.
That's fantastic. Well, I was in Jimmy Hansen's era. So his older
That's
brother.
a family that knows how to wrestle.
Absolutely. Richmond Heights Spartans.
That's right.
Sadly gone, the whole program. It's kind of
deep breath.
Of a bummer. I know, right?
Deep breath.
As we say, the taps. Anyhow, today, right? We have to mention this and put this in posterity that like 80,000 cell phones are out today.
Yeah.
Okay. So
weird.
Getting this here today was sort of an interesting dynamic.
I think you called me at the exact moment before my phone went dead.
Okay.
So I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of spooky.
A little bit.
You know what I mean? So how dependent we are on technology. And, you were talking about off air, just the amazing amount of aerospace tech is here with obviously the Glenn and Swagelock and some of the other companies. What happens, right?
I have no idea.
You know what I mean? You consult to businesses all day long, and I do too, about best practices. But think about that technology.
I'll tell you what, it's frightening to know that my phone is sitting there and it's basically a paperweight right now.
Exactly right.
There's no value to it because I can't communicate with the people that need me, or I'm trying to get in touch with.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, I texted my daughter.
Right.
Is your phone working? And it kicked back green. There's no access to the internet right now.
Text failed or whatever it says. Absolutely.
So I'm not sure what's going on. And the fact that you bring it up, aerospace here in Ohio, what exactly is going on? Is it just Ohio? Is it nationwide?
Right.
What is going on with the phones?
Well, I was on the way here and WTM, I listen to WTM a lot.
Okay.
And it was saying that it's 80,000 phones. AT&T was hit first. And it was mostly in Houston, Chicago, and other areas. But clearly we got hit.
Oh, yeah.
Are you on AT&T? Or?
Yeah.
So AT&T, I'm on AT&T as well. Well, that said, this is going to be probably a week later, after this today has happened. But note to self, and I think note to the country, wake the fuck up.
100%.
Right.
There's a lot of things going on that we all need to wake up to.
Absolutely. 100%.
I have this theory. I talk about this all the time, Peter. Yeah. We have the flea hanging on the hair that's on the tail, trying to wag the entire dog.
Yes.
As a country, we need to wake up and realize what our course is and what we're trying to do as a nation, and stop worrying about things that just get in the way of us being a great country.
It's interesting too, because when we harken back to our sport, wrestling, we both were that guy that, just showed up and busted ass,
grind it
out, didn't have much talent, but we got the most out of our talent, right? But we always looked what was in front of us and took it to them, win, lose, or draw, right? Where did we go wrong in this country where it's in front of us?
It's a great question, because I think in wrestling mentality, it was Tuesdays, Fridays, or the Saturday or the weekend tournaments. That's what you always focused on. Right. I have a goal. I need to make weight. Which when you're young as a 98 pounder, it was easy. I weighed way under the limit. I was good. The following years, it was really hard to squeeze myself into that singlet. But man, I was trying so hard. I remember days of eating nothing but a Jello pop.
Lots of juicy fruit.
Terrible stuff we did.
Yeah.
But the goal was always set. I have to be at this weight on this date on this time. And that's what you focus on. And then get on the mat, that guy versus me. That's it. I have no one else to blame. I got to be accountable to that.
Exactly right.
Right? Win, lose, or draw, I put my best effort forward.
Sure.
What I find differently in the country right now, we have this different opinion of everybody else is at fault, or everybody is at fault for my wrongdoings.
Sure.
Everybody else I can point a finger to, or I'm a victim and I don't understand how we got here.
Right.
It's just a weird entitlement mentality that we have allowed young people to just absorb and run with.
Right.
Because nobody wants to be held accountable anymore.
No, and it's easy to hide behind, all the electronics that are right? It's easy to
if I were
be a gorilla when you're really, a mouse.
Well, it's hard to be anything more than a hunchback when you are on your phone all the time.
Right.
Chiropractic and physical therapy are probably going to be booming markets in the next decade.
I think they are right now.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
Because this is what we do as opposed to be present in the moment, right?
Exactly.
There's a difference between presence and being present.
Oh, for sure.
And you sit there. I've been to, God, I don't know how many times I've been on either a date or at dinner with my kids, and I watch 5 to 8-year-old kids that are just fixated on their phones.
Sure.
Mom and dad are on their phones. Like, why did the 5 of you decide to go outside of your house to have dinner when all you're doing is on your phones?
And just
engage with each other.
Yeah, and just literally, it's like there's no more embarrassment.
No.
Well,
I don't think there's any level of embarrassment because people will always find a way to blame it out for somebody or blame something on somebody else. Right. Instead of me just being a complete moron, I'm going to blame somebody else for it. And I can pass for that because society allows me to not be accountable.
Yeah.
And we kind of just took the standard of what we are as a country and as a people and said, really don't care.
The greatest example of that, I don't know how we got on this tangent, but I love this tangent. It's just fantastic. I mean, 2 old codgers fucking getting, we're
doing it. Just
crabby old man. I love it. Is obesity is okay.
Oh, okay.
What?
Okay.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
It's okay. No, it's not okay.
Stop telling people it's okay.
It is the single most costly thing in business today. People don't realize that.
Really?
People, I was listening to, and I can't remember, I don't think it was Musk, but somebody like Musk that said Ozempic will have more of effect than AI on our GDP.
Really?
Think about that.
So we're going to take a pill to lose weight.
Because what does it do? It gives us our health back because fat people take off a lot of time because they're sick.
Yeah.
They're morbidly obese,
The morbid, no, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Morbid obesity is translated to diabetes. It's translated to back problems. It's translated to congestive heart failure. It's translated to
cancer.
It's translated to orthopedic procedures that need to be done because your back, your knees, your hips can't carry that weight.
Right.
And yet it is the single most fixable thing that you can do.
Close your mouth.
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Another tangent, but I love this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. You can go on a dating site and somebody will say, I will not date somebody unless they are at least 6 foot tall.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm 5'11". Yeah. I had back surgery and I'm actually 5'10" and a half now.
Sure.
So I lost half an inch.
Yeah.
So I'm far away from being a 6 foot tall guy. Right. So now I'm cast aside from somebody not wanting to date me.
Okay.
Because I'm not 6 foot tall.
Okay.
But I cannot fix it. But if I were to put on my profile, I don't want to date somebody who's obese.
Yeah.
I would be cast out as a fat phobic.
Of course.
But yet it's completely fixable.
How dare you fat shame the population?
Right? I mean, come on. You can fix that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm afraid of fat people. I'm not attracted to a woman of
obesity, right?
Big size.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So what I will give you as a perspective that most don't have is that I was an obese child up until I was 14.
Okay.
And I was one of only 3 fat kids in the 6th grade.
We have so much in common, my friend.
Today, 1/3 of those kids are bigger than me.
Of course.
Okay? We're bigger than me. By the time I was a sophomore, I was, in shape, wrestler. I wrestled 126. I went from 161 as a 7th grader to 126 and grew 8 inches. So I went from a 41-inch waist to a 28-inch waist in 4 years. Right? Okay. That said, today, I am probably in the point, and I'm going to beat my chest here, for 66 years old, I'm probably in a 0.0001%.
Oh, yeah.
Physically, I don't, whatever. I am 133 pounds this morning.
Yeah.
Okay. With probably, 10% body fat. At the end of the day, why?
I have a suggestion.
Okay. Go ahead.
Discipline, accountability, and self-image.
But at the end of the day, when you start doing it, it gets easy.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? It's just a mind fuck. It's all 100%.
It's a mindset.
You know what I mean?
It's a mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I said earlier we have so much in common. 7th grader, I weighed 112 pounds.
Okay.
Wrestled 1 year as an 8th grader. I finished at 88 pounds. I lost 24 pounds in 1 year.
Oh my God.
Just by wrestling.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Yeah.
I was the latchkey kid that would get off the bus at 2:45, walk into my house, grab a bowl of Frosted Flakes, devour it as I watched some stupid cartoon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wait for my mom to get home at 5:15, make me dinner, and I'd eat that too.
Sure.
That's what I did every day.
Yeah.
Until I realized when my friends would stick their finger in my belly and go, "What happened to my hand?"
Yeah.
So I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
I gotta do it.
I was called Pugsley from the Addams Family, and my little after school of choice was Lawson's chip dip, a whole bag of Ripples, the
you get
ridges,
after that.
and a nice chunk of Coke.
Nothing wrong with that.
Watching Star Trek reruns on my black and white TV when I was 13. It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
That's all
they
were
my friend. They were my friend. So
Lawson's
right? The green onion chip dip.
Don't get me wrong.
God.
That's probably how I got to be where I was.
Exactly right. Yeah.
But it was actually my friends, which today believe it or not, I have friends that I still hang out with and talk to.
Yeah.
They're in different parts of the country that I've known since I was 5, 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
I've got great friends and they all ridiculed me.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, because I was a fat kid.
Yeah.
And they were all doing something to better themselves, whether it was basketball or wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized I don't want to be that kid on the outside. I want to be a part of this and I want to be better.
Yeah, me too.
So I started wrestling and I lost all this weight.
Yeah.
Now, did I get pulled into the nurse's office because they thought I was bulimic or anorexic?
Sure?
Yeah. A couple times.
Well, back in the Stone Age, nobody talked about that.
No.
In 1971 through 70, get the hell out of here, kid. They didn't care. As long as you were bleeding from the ears or something, you know what I mean? But here's how interestingly my formative years were. I had a kid who was 2 years older than me when I was in 5th grade, 4th grade, because it went up to 6th grade. And he made up a little jingle.
Oh.
Pete, Pete, Pete with the big fat belly. Shake, shake, shake like a bowl of jelly.
The fact that you still remember that.
Oh, yeah, dude. I remember that.
Is more indicative of the power that had on your brain.
It was great.
Yeah.
And then he and I played on the same team in golf when I was a sophomore and he was a senior. And he goes, "Man, I was an a-hole." I go, "You were a fucking asshole, dude."
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And I apologized to you. I said, "I don't give a shit, man. Look at me now."
Yeah, good for you.
And he goes, "You're right. You look better than me."
And a lot of it has to do with
better shape than me.
Sometimes, and we're going to go bring this conversation all the way back to the accountability piece. Yeah. A lot of it, Peter, comes down to people aren't told they're on the wrong path. Right? They're told, feel the way you want to feel.
Feel the way you want to feel.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, they're 6 months down the road, 2 years down the road, and they're lost because they have no rudder.
Exactly.
They've not been told this is the direction you're supposed to be going. And the guardrails that have been set are so wide that they never understand what it is to get touched on that voltage rail.
And I'm going to take it one more step further. They also affect good people.
Okay. Walk me through your thought process.
So if you're part of a team, and that team is responsible for an outcome, and you decide, I don't feel like doing it because it makes me feel good not to feel like I want to do it.
Right.
and you are an intricate part of that that process or that solution.
Well, ultimately, what's going to...
Hello?
Well, now
right?
You've got a culture problem. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Because whoever was supposed to be cultivating the culture that brings
that cancer out.
Well, that's what it is, right?
Get rid of
them. We
them.
don't do it.
Or you know what? Have a come to Jesus.
Oh.
I mean, I just had that. I just had that with my team. Okay, good. I had 2 kind of off the reservation. I said, guess what? You're out. It's up to you.
You want to be back in?
You want to be back in? This is what you're going to do. You want the animal? You got the animal. Because what I told him, as I said, everything that you're seeing from me, this kind, charming, charismatic individual, is fucking learned behavior.
Yeah.
I am an animal in my heart.
Yeah.
In my soul.
And don't mistake it for weakness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good for you.
Okay. So they said, oh, we're good. Yeah. And it's been like fantastic. Okay. And we are really hitting on all cylinders. But I said, why did I have to get here? You know,
because
why did I have
to because you allowed it.
Well, you know, right. the kindness,
to a certain degree, you did.
Right. The kindness, the generosity, the charm, whatever.
And this is just a weird perception, but hear me out.
Yeah.
The line is here.
Yeah.
I push.
Oh, for sure.
I push. I push until you finally push me back. And I'm like, all right, well, look how far I was able to gain on you without you even knowing it.
Yeah.
You didn't wait to push back on me until I got all the way to here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but then I knocked you all the way back down.
Well, push my way back. Okay.
Yeah.
You said it, learned behavior.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Well,
saying,
that's never going to happen to me again with that.
Well, this is what I was.
Yeah, exactly right.
Once you realize they're trying to take another couple steps forward, no.
Yeah.
This is our guard. Yeah. This is our guardrail.
Now, if you're making me better, I'm all ears. Believe me, I tell you, I'm good.
Bring the receipts.
Like that. Yeah.
Right,
like go. That. Let's go. Let's go. You know.
But if you're constantly messing up and you're not providing value, I got to check you.
You got it.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether it's you as the lead of the organization or somebody that's in that culture says, hey, you're being kind of an ass right now.
Yeah.
Get off your high horse, come back to reality, and let's get this team on the right track.
Get some humility, some gratitude. Yeah. So, hey,
humility is a big thing.
Right?
Nobody loves to be humble.
Oh my God. I'm the best at being humble.
I started this whole thing by saying I was not a great wrestler. Just so we know.
That's right.
I am humble, but I'm comfortable.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that a funny statement? My brother told me that the other day. He goes, my wife says I'm not humble. And then I told her, I'm the best at being humble.
So good at it.
She was so aggravated with me. Anyhow, we got to take a break to pay homage to the people that keep us here. You know, all of our sponsors that are just fantastic, and our production team. I think they're great.
They're fantastic.
Dan and Eddie, baby, give them a hand. Let's give them a hand.
The smiles on their faces is great because I think they're laughing at us.
Absolutely, no question about it. Well, we'll be right back with Scott MacMeans. This is Coach Cimarroni for Blood Time. Love to all. Infinite Search Solutions, recruitment and placement search services at its finest. Northeast Ohio's premier, easy, fast, and simple way to find the great and perfect candidate that you deserve. Matt Burns and his incredible team at Infinite Search Solutions are terrific. We are proud to have them as a sponsor. Reach out to Matt at 440-249-0485 or at their website, www.in-finite.com. We want to thank my good friend Kevin Goodman, the managing partner at Blue Bridge Networks, as our newest partner and sponsor. Please reach out to them for all of your managed IT services needs, cloud computing needs, data center services requirements, and all infrastructure solutions services. Kevin Goodman and Blue Bridge Networks. Seek them out at 1-866-990-2583. That's 1-866-990-2583 and at info@bbnllc.com. And we're back, Scott.
All right.
We had some good conversation. Yeah, it was
Peter,
good, right?
If you could count the tangents we went on,
I love it.
An octopus wouldn't keep it together.
Exactly
there's way too many.
Exactly right. So guess what today? Tom Evans, our boy Tom Evans. Okay?
Oh, boy, yeah?
He is on the air today to do the Cleveland State-Kent State match.
Really?
Yes.
Outstanding.
The superintendent of your old high school.
Yes, sir.
Right?
And my former wrestling coach.
Exactly. I love Tommy, right?
Oh my God,
we want to give a shout. And he was also one of our guests on one of our episodes. So we want to give a shout out to him. So if you guys, get a chance, start watching that stuff because Tom does a great job. So we want to give a shout out to Tom.
Well, I just know his passion for being a teacher, being a part of a school system, and his love for the sport. That's awesome.
He's just a wonderful guy.
Oh, fantastic guy.
Just love him. Just love him. That said, you grew up in a very small community.
100, yeah.
Right?
I had 66 kids in my graduating class.
Yeah, right.
66.
You know what I mean? But a lot of successful guys came out of that. We just lost Jack Squirek.
Yeah.
We just lost him. Super Bowl MVP, wasn't he, or something? Or Super
I don't
Bowl?
know if he won the MVP. I know he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Exactly right.
That interception turned into a touchdown.
Exactly right. So
and he had a great game.
But I mean, it's amazing how like little communities just gravitate and generate greatness. But really, what I want to do is talk a little bit about you're trying to do a lot of great things for companies.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, there's some background in wrestling, but let's not get too grandiose about how wrestling was such an incredible part of your life. But there are lessons there that you learned that now you're taking to the business world. Yeah. So talk a little bit about your modality, your philosophy, your platform, and what you're doing in the business world.
No, I appreciate that.
Sure.
I'm with ActionCOACH, which is a franchise across the globe. Believe it or not, we've been doing this thing for 30 years.
Kind of like Vistage type of thing, or a little bit
similar. But Brad Sugars, who's the guy who started this whole thing back in Australia, he brought it to the United States 24 years ago.
Okay.
And the people I work with have been doing this for 20 some years.
Nice.
And the great thing about it is, I've said this to you before, we're not consultants.
Yeah.
We are not going to fix a business.
Right.
What we do is we build better business people. So they are capable of fixing themselves and then owning the business they've always wanted to own.
Gotcha.
Everything we do is founded on a mindset change.
Okay.
We talked earlier about accountability, ownership, responsibility of your own shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then eliminating blame, excuses, and denial of what's going on around you. It's really stepping above that point and saying, I own this stuff because it's my responsibility.
That's ultimate humility.
100%.
Yes.
And it's interesting because the people I love to work with are those people that know they're not in the right spot, but they don't know how to get to where they want to go.
Okay.
They just know they're not happy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The difference is people that are willing to take that pill of humility and say, I need help.
Yeah. It's a bitter little pill sometimes. Jagged little.
It's
little
very
pill.
difficult. And if you do the math on this, it's interesting. And I hate to be braggadocious, but I walk into a room much like you do.
It ain't brag if it's fact, baby.
But much like what you do, like I can walk into a room of Chamber of Commerce people and know everybody in this room I can help.
Sure.
In some form or fashion, I know I can help them.
There you go. Yeah.
Right?
I feel the same, man.
But if they're unwilling to accept that help.
You gotta have an open mind, open heart.
Right. I can't help them.
Yeah.
So it's
why hire me? Right? Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna hire me and you're not gonna do the work, you can't hold me accountable to what you're unwilling to do.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. So my job, and this is what's so much fun about what I do, I get a chance to help create, build, and execute a plan alongside you.
Yeah.
But I don't have to do any of the work. Yeah. I'm just the dispassionate prick that holds you accountable.
You're the head wrestling coach.
I'm the guy that makes sure you do the things you said you were going to do. Yeah. Now, do we build a plan that works? Yeah. Absolutely we will, because you tell me, this is where I am. Yeah. This is where I want to go.
Sure.
We build it based off your big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yeah.
You want that? Okay, we can do it.
Yeah.
What's your time frame? How much investment do you want to make? Let's go.
Right.
We can make it happen.
Yeah.
The challenge is along the way, when are you going to say, I've reached my breaking point?
I got you.
And that's when I come in again to say, you told me this is what you want.
Right.
Let's get back on track. That's what I do. And I'm passionate about it.
Right.
I get to help people make their dreams come true. It's fucking awesome.
It is.
To be honest with you. It's awesome.
It is. Yeah. Well, I just think when I'm hearing all this, I'm just thinking of Kid Rock's song Cocky. And the line is, it ain't bragging, motherfucker, if you can back it up.
It's 100%.
Right? And so you back it up because you're holding them accountable, but it's also you're marrying their own words, their own vision to their own accountability. Yeah. Right? That's an art.
It's interesting to see people have we call them BFOs, blinding flashes of the obvious. It's like you tell them something so simple.
Yeah.
And they're like, never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
The light just went on and now you get it. Okay, now we're going to move forward. Every step we take is forward, never backwards. We learn. So I do this thing. I ask the 5 questions. What worked this week? What didn't work? What did you learn? What will you never do again? What are we going to do to make money this week?
Attaboy.
That's how we start and finish our conversations.
Love it.
Because that's what people need. If they don't have that guardrail, they're going to go off on different tangents like we just did today.
We did. I love it though.
But they will have the focus they need to get their dreams realized. Gotcha. And that's the biggest push I have. I want somebody to tell me, I want a mansion on the lake.
Sure.
Let's get it done.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is that I found the oddest dynamic that occurs is that you give them the answer, they implement it, and then they don't.
Yeah.
They get success, and then they don't.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I had this, and I'm going to share this about 10 years ago. I did the campaign for Ken Lancey's run for mayor.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Or were you here?
I was not here.
Okay.
I was in Massachusetts.
You know the name, Ken Lancey, right? Okay. So he ran for mayor in 2013. Okay. It was a hard thing. Very, very hard thing.
Yeah.
But he was compassionate. He was passionate. He was a D that thought like an R.
Okay.
Okay. He was a fiscal R, a social D. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right. I think it's a really smart way to be. Anyhow, that said, he was at 5%.
Yeah.
So he was going to get crushed. I said, do one thing. He goes, what's that? I go, turn your billboards and your bus cards upside down. He goes, what? I said, and I repeated it. And then all of a sudden you just saw his eyes light up. Oh my God, it's brilliant.
So simple.
We did that. We took him from 5% of the polls to 40 in a week and had national press. And then I started to tell, and we're going to win this if you do this. I told him exactly what to say to cranes. He said none of it. He went down to 30%. And then I said,
you had
oh my God.
We had the rule book. You had the playbook. Let's go.
Oh my God, we had the playbook. We went out to see one of my dearest friends in Phoenix who was running the Phoenix Economics Council, the largest of its kind in the country. He was sending all of Cali's overflow that was going into Phoenix that they couldn't handle infrastructure to Chicago because he was good friends with Rahm Emanuel, the Chicago mayor at the time.
Okay.
He says, no, he's my coach. I coach this guy, John Carroll. He says, I'll send it to you. Just put in enterprise zones all over the city. Gordon Park, Hinchtown, Tremont. Just start building tech hubs.
Okay.
No. None of that. He wanted to reach out to the pastors and to the reverends in the community and talk to them instead, and held this big revival at Cleveland State. And I'm like, you're spending $130,000 and giving out hot dogs, and these people don't give a shit.
Well,
and he ended up losing 36-64.
Ouch.
So that said, I mean, you know what I mean?
No, it's all about you. You give them the playbook, you give them what they're supposed to do, and they don't want to do it because, and this is an interesting, I don't know if it takes place in that scenario, but imposter syndrome.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing so well, I cannot possibly be worthy of this because I don't know how I got here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but time out. You know exactly how you got here. Peter, you brought him there.
Right.
Stop worrying about what happened. Worry about what's potential. And right now, he made a decision to go off script.
Why would you do
that?
Yeah. How do you not listen to a guy that? Okay, let's just say
raised your 35 points.
Right. Well, let's just say that that campaign was a 4-year high school career. You're now a freshman state champ that pinned the guy in the finals.
Yeah.
By doing that.
Pretty good.
And then you don't listen to me, and then you take 6th in the state as a sophomore.
You
and then
you don't make it.
And you don't even make it as a junior. Right. And you quit the sport as a senior. I mean, that's what he did. That's
so bad.
It's so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me.
I don't even know where to go with that, to be honest with you.
Well, at the end of the day, what I'm saying to you is that I think that your vantage point is spectacular for the CEO or for the business owner because you constantly make them check themselves at the door.
That's a great perspective. Yeah.
Right. And so we're going to check ourselves at the door because we need to listen objectively. Now, ultimately, look, I tell all of my wrestlers, I told my children, lead with your intellect first and then bring your heart and passion.
Very
if you
good.
do the
Very
opposite, you're going to get
run over.
You're going to get run over.
Because someone will take advantage of it.
I think that without saying it, that's what you do.
It's a good point. Yeah, I would agree with that. And it's fun to be the third perspective.
Yeah.
Because there's that person's perspective, reality, and then I'm sitting over going, those two need to meet each other.
Yes.
Because you think you're doing something you're not.
Right.
And reality is saying you're not doing it.
Right.
So let's merge those two to give you the opportunity to be successful.
Right.
It's funny. People are always want success until you ask them to put this stuff down.
Sure.
Write down your goals.
Yeah.
An interesting perspective. Only 3% of the people in this country write their goals down on paper.
I write my ultimate goal every day 18 times.
All right. You are in that, that percentage.
I'm like an insane person. You see this stack of handwritten papers. It's a one-liner.
Doesn't matter.
It's a one-liner, but I do it 18 times. And then I have a vision board with my wife because we have a very specific vision that we want.
And what's interesting is of those 3%, 97% of the wealth in this country is represented by those three people.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Do the math on that right now.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's mind-blowing.
It is.
And there's something to be said because I have clients that ask me, well, I'll just type it in an email. No. I need you to handwrite it.
The organic nature of it.
There is something kinesthetic with whether you're an audio, a visual, or kinesthetic learner.
Brother. Yeah.
Right? You've got to write it down because now it's permanent.
Totally.
Okay?
Totally.
Now that it's permanent, then you can do whatever you want to it, but you have to write it down.
I wrote a book called Benevolent Capitalism, and it's 127 pages, and it took me 14 months to write it. Okay? Every word of it written was initially handwritten.
Wow.
And then I transcribed it too.
That's passion.
I needed to.
Well, that's passion, and it's organic.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
Because it's not the mechanical ease of I need so many words. It's I'm just writing. I'm getting this out.
Yeah, I'm getting it out.
And then when you synthesize it, you bring it down.
Yeah.
And there's a great exercise we do about tell me your goals.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I had somebody have 17 goals. I said, okay, we're going to just do the goals for the next 90 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have 17. You're never getting your 17 goals done in 90 days.
No.
Let's bring this down to 4, maybe at most, maybe 4.
Yeah.
Now you have something you work with.
Right.
Guess what? That person started with me in January.
Right.
He has 2 of his 4 goals done, and it's February.
Yep.
Right?
Almost March.
Yeah. And the reason why it works so effectively for him, he actually had a plan to follow. As opposed to following all 17, he followed the 4. He's halfway done.
Yeah.
I love it.
So Scott, I love this.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. This is great.
I love this. But I'm going to ask you a question, and you can answer it or not.
Oh, boy.
Why should I be engaged with Scott?
Why would you work with me? All right. I'm going to take off the humble hat and put on. I'm really fucking good at what I do.
Awesome.
I am passionate about making people better than what they are.
Yeah.
And I'm passionate about giving them the goal they've always wanted. That's what I love to do. I'm good at it.
Yeah. I could tell.
Hands down.
And you know what? Again, it ain't bragging, motherfucker.
If I can back it up. I mean, I just want people to be successful and stop worrying about all the obstacles in their way. We'll kick them out of the way. We'll get you where you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting too, because whether it's business or whether it's coaching, right? I mean, I've done crazy shit in coaching that people like, how the fuck did you do that? Like when I took over Beachwood's wrestling team in 1987, we had 1 kid K through 12.
That's so insane.
One, James Gilmore, he was a junior, okay? Within 7 years, we were 4th in the state. We had 6 kids make the state, 5 place. Okay. The only kid who didn't place that year, the poor bastard had a stroke on the mat. A stroke. Yeah. Otherwise he's placing, and we would have taken 2nd in the state. We wouldn't have beat the team. And then in Beachwood again in 14, they were down to 6 kids, K through 12. Within 3 years, they were at 120 kids. And we got our first state place winner in 2 years. And at Chagrin Falls, when I took over in 2000, the next year I retired again. I'm like, it's like Muhammad Ali retired.
Yeah.
So I took over. They had 6 kids K through 12 there. They had not had a state place winner since 1998 and never had a state place winner Division II. And we did that in 2022.
That's impressive.
And the reason I'm saying is
you can back it up.
You can back it up. You know what I mean?
100% you can back
it up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then in business, same thing. I mean, we just cut before you got here. We just cut a bunch of case studies, and I'm like, wow, I fucking did that.
No,
that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? It was pretty cool.
If I may, I'm going to talk about one of my clients who I started with. She started her business a year ago.
Okay. She
is a home organizer.
Nice.
She kicks ass.
That's awesome.
She came to me with loose leaf notebook, papers everywhere, and not having.
And she's an organizer. And I love that.
It's the irony is great.
Yeah, exactly.
But her passion and her commitment to making this business work.
Yeah.
She said, "I need your help.
Yeah.
I want you to guide me." She has now just opened a salon where she is going to have 8 different stylists working underneath her as she runs her other business.
God bless her.
She has been so good and so successful. I'd love to say it's me, but it's her committing to the passion.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's her taking the lead of this is what I want. This is my vision. I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
She literally stumbled upon the opportunity and grabbed it by the handlebars and said, "I'm making this work."
And you know,
now she's got 2 businesses. She started not less than a year ago, Peter, with no business. She has 2.
That is fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah. And to your saying, we're just the conduit. That's all we are. That's all we are. You know, we're the vessel. We're the vessel.
Here's the path.
Exactly.
My job is to tap you on the shoulder whenever you're being some.
Yeah. The rudder.
Stupid.
The rudder. Keep it on. Yeah. Right. Here's your butt. Yeah. Tap it on your butt.
Don't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah.
No. But that over there is a really shiny piece of metal we should go take a look at. Yeah. That's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly right. How do they get a hold of you, Scott?
Oh, give me a call, 508-298-4679.
Say that slowly again.
508-298-4679.
Awesome.
Drop me an email at scottmacmeans@actioncoach.com or go to sbl.actioncoach.com. You can check out everything I do. My symbolism is be the buffalo, charge the storm.
Nice.
You know the story between the cows and the buffalo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the idea of standing still only makes you wet and tired.
Yep.
Turn, face the storm, face your fears, and get after your stuff.
Absolutely, babe.
You'll be successful.
I love it.
So yeah.
Well, my motto is when the message meets the experience, that's when the magic happens.
Awesome.
All right.
Very good.
I think. So reach out to Scott. Doggone it. If you want to get better, and if you don't, then I don't know what you're doing.
You'll watch the people I work with get better.
Exactly right. Well, thanks, Scott.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, man, for coming on Blood Time. This is Coach Cimarroni for Blood Time. We are all blood. Love to all. I just love the mission at Edwin's. My friend Brandon Krastowski at Edwin's Leadership and Restaurant Institute brings a unique approach at giving formerly incarcerated adults a foundation in the hospitality industry. What a marvelous mission. Thank you, Brandon, for bringing these wonderful people back into productive society. Every human being, regardless of their past, has the right to a fair and equal future. Give them a try because their food is magnificent. Their service is first rate, and Brandon is a true Cleveland light. EdwinsRestaurant.org. We love you.